Hey guys, welcome to the next part of today's or this weekend's portfolio review. Today we're gonna review the remaining half of the people that we were missing from yesterday. So let's get to it. But before we start, I forgot to let you guys know that we do have this very cool promotion with Skillshare, where you can get several days for free, so that you can check out some of the courses that we teach. So I'm just gonna leave you very quickly here with our very nice little sponsor, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, Abraham here. I just wanted to remind you guys that we upload all of our courses to Skillshare. Skillshare is this amazing site where you can access a ton of different content to learn, improve, and grow as an artist. We have all of our courses available to watch and learn from right now in Skillshare. You can check the description down here, and Skillshare is offering 1 free month trial to their premium membership. With this membership, you're going to be able to access all of our courses and watch and learn all of the amazing things that we cover with all of the softwares. So, what are you waiting for? Check Skillshare down here below. There we go. So we left off yesterday's video with, I believe, Sergio, who had a very nice portfolio. So let's keep moving. We're now going to jump to Neville Omen Isaac. Hello, hope you're doing well. I am doing really well. An animation student from India. Now I'm preparing my portfolio. I'd like to be a 3D character artist. I hope you can give me advice to learn. Let's take a look. Okay. So, first things first, I see a familiar guy right here. Given that you want to be a 3D character artist, I can definitely see that there's several character pieces here. However, I think we are missing some of the fundamentals of the character, elements, and that is anatomy. We need to go in and study about anatomy really heavily. I've been wanting to do the anatomy course in the last couple of months, but unfortunately, due to scheduling issues with my work over here, I haven't had the time to really sit down and plan it out. But believe me, it's coming really soon. Hopefully, it will be, if not the next one, probably the one after that. And but yeah, I can see this character right here, he looks okay. Another thing that I would definitely recommend to you, my friend, is to check out the rendering session that I did. Let me show you guys, because I think that's one of our strongest videos, and it doesn't get the love that it deserves. So let's take a look. There's been so many videos that we've recorded in the past year. So where is it? It was last year. I do remember it was last year. So should be around here. Where is it? Must be around here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, we'll just jump to the next part. I think we're gonna have to jump to no, it should be here. There we go. It's this one. This one right here. So it's this how to create renders for your portfolio. Just look it up like this, how to create renders for your portfolio. And here I show some this is the most basic setup that you can use for your 3D renders. It's called the 3-point light setup. I show how to use an HDR, how to use Arnold, how to get very nice and clean renders, how to even get the wireframe effect and get some interesting shots. So this is the one you want. This is the kind of portfolios or oh, what happened here? Oh, there we go. This is the kind of renders that you want, because I can see that you are doing some really cool characters over here, but unfortunately you're not really showing them to the best of their potential. Again, there's a couple of anatomy things that I would encourage you to check out, like the way that you're building the face right here. There's something called an nasolabial fold, which it looks to me that you are aware of the things that need to be done. However, we need to keep practicing to make sure that we do them properly. This is fiber mesh. I personally don't like using fiber mesh because it gives this very fake CG result. So I would encourage against doing or using that one right here. Same for this ones. I know some of this are early pieces from you last year. So I think the best advice I could give you, my friend Neville, is grab one character, just one of them, one of the ones that you have right here. It could be this dude, the soldier, it could be the Viking. Grab one of the ones that you like the most, even this medieval, and let's try doing it again. And I'm not saying this to be mean. It's not it's bad. Don't show it. No, it's fine. But this is a lesson that one of the earliest teachers that I had taught me. She was a drawing teacher, and she told me, hey, you should do a face, like a portrait, right? So I took someone's face from the internet and tried to do it. It was horrible. And then she said, do it again. And the second time, it was a little bit better. And then she said, do it again. And I did that phase probably like 6 or 7 times in the span of a week. By the end of it, I was completely like, what's the word? Completely fed up with it, and I didn't want to do it anymore. But the last one that I did, the 7th one, was really good. It actually looked quite nice. It looked really similar to the character, while the first one was not as good. So the more you practice something, the better you're gonna get at it. And that's one of the things that I feel a lot of students miss, is they will do like this one, right? Like you probably did this character right here, and you were like, I'm gonna practice armor. I want to do armor. And yeah, you did armor. However, it can be better, right? Everything can be better. So you haven't really done this sort of armor again. Maybe you did it again for the paladin, and I can already see that the paladin armor looks a little bit better. So if you do it again and again and again, by the 10th time that you're doing this sort of like stylized pauldrons, they're gonna look super, super, super cool. So that's the same thing with anatomy, like with faces, and that's the same thing with bodies. That's, I think, the best thing I could suggest to you. Like, do a body study of anatomy, but without any cloth. Like, just focus on the anatomy. Like, if you, I don't want to look right now because we might get banned by YouTube because we're showing nudity. But if you do a character, try to do it like from scratch. Do not use any base mesh, and try to do the full body. Just focus on the primary forms. If you look for primary forms of the body, this is the kind of thing that you want to master. And I know it's a little bit difficult for me to show it to you, because I did a lot of practice. Like, there's a lot of things that I drew, I painted, I sculpted when I was a student, but I don't have them on my portfolio. I know that sometimes we feel inclined to show everything, and it's not necessary, right? So this kind of like construction, this first level blockout, or even the second level blockout, that's the kind of stuff that you want to focus on and make sure you nail first before trying to do the final renders, because here I can see that you want to do props and textures and everything. You could also benefit, of course, from some substance painter and from like proper UVs and everything, because I know that all of this is done in the, or most of this is done in polypaint. It seems to me like it's polypaint from ZBrush. I can see it because of the pixelation that we get here, and that's something that very, very commonly happens with polypaint. You're in a good, I would say you're like totally in a good position, because when I look at these characters, this is how my characters look when I was first starting. And as you push forward and forward and forward, you're gonna get better and better and better. So don't stop practicing, my friend. Keep on pushing, and I'm sure you're gonna be able to achieve that goal of becoming a 3D character artist. Hello, Abraham, sir. Hello, Gunjan. I'm Gunjan Mandel, aiming of being a character artist in Game Studio. Let's take a look. I still struggle a lot in texturing and hair stuff. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I think, did you submit? Have you submitted earlier? Because I can't remember this one right here. Your topology is great. It looks really good. That's the kind of topology that we're going for. But again, you are missing some of the fundamentals in regards to through the. Yeah, I think you did submit before, right? And I told you to take some of them out, because I do remember this Sith character right here. So yeah, we need to focus on the fundamentals. Like this one right here looks really good. It's a lot closer and a lot better to what you would definitely expect. Now, for this one, there's a couple of things I would suggest. First of all, we need to do a material study on the way that the cap works, because as you can see, this is really, really shiny. It looks like plastic or metal, and it should look like fabric. Now, I know that you're using substance painters. It's just a matter of using a like normal traditional cloth material for this one to get like the actual cap material. The hair looks quite nice. I think this is a really nice approach to the hair cards. I'm not sure if you're using the cores. I think you are. They look very similar to the kind of strategies that I teach with haircuts. Be careful with those like little patches right there. There's a couple of options you can do there. First of all, more cards, like just add more cards on that specific area where you see like the bald spots, or go into the character and paint the head of the character a little bit better. Now the eyes definitely need a little bit of more work. In the Marmoset course, in the complete guide to Marmoset 4, I teach how to do some realistic eyes, like cheap realistic eyes for games. You could take a look at that one if you want. That's I think that could be of benefit to you. Yeah, this is from an older older tutorial that I did. I should update that one. Maybe make it for you guys. This is looking good again. And again, I can see that you understand the fundamentals because I can see the marks of the places where you're placing your stuff, right? Like this nasolabial fold and the tear duct and stuff. So I can see it's there. And unfortunately, that's you're in this step of the 3D process where you know the technical side of things, like you know what you want, but your hand and your coordination, your expertise with the software, if you wish, it's not getting you there. And unfortunately, the only way to get there is through practice. Let me see if I can find critical hit. I've shown this before, but a long time ago I had this blog spot. I only updated it like twice. It was homework back when I was a student. And in here I shared the portfolio that I used to enter Gnomon when I first went to school. So this is one of the characters that I submitted. And as you can see, it follows, I would say, very similar like processes that you guys are using here. Your texturing on the code and on the paints and everything, it's really good. The amount of polygons, it's on point, it's perfect. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for a low poly character. I'll probably avoid the triangles here, or just like move the flow of the topology somewhere else, but everything else is fine. It's the forms, the primary and secondary forms of the face. That's the kind of stuff that you want to work on. Again, it could be due to a lack of knowledge, and again, I'm not saying this in a bad way. Lack doesn't mean that you don't have it. It's just you just haven't seen it somewhere probably. And the other one is just practice. It's just practice. So in the latest tutorial that I finished, the 3D printing one, we go over the female face, which might be useful because I also cover like the important parts of the nose, the mouth, nasolabial fold, everything, and you can see how the whole thing comes together. You do have the principles, like you know the kind of things that need to be done to create a realistic, believable face. Now it's time to polish. My advice for you, instead of who was before you, Neville, I advise him to do a full anatomy study. In your case, I would advise you to do face studies. We also have the course with Anthony Hopkins' face, the likeness course. That would be an amazing course if you don't have it to get, or you can use the Skillshare promotion, of course, to understand like the kind of things that you are looking for on the face to make sure it looks as realistic and believable as possible. Okay, so yeah, that's it, Gunjan. Good luck and keep on pushing. Hi, I'm Jyoti. I hope you're having a great day. I am. I'm a student focusing on environment art. Right now, I only have one stylus environment in my portfolio. Looking forward for your feedback on that. What type of work should I add in my portfolio according to you? Okay, let's take a look first and then I'll tell you my answer. Okay, that's fun. That's a nice one. It looks pretty. Where is this rendered? Maya. I think again the illumination could get a little bit more, like you could add a little bit more to the illumination side of things. This is perfect, like how you did it. Yeah, this is great. Great. Super low poly, which is nice. Yeah, your process is on point, my friend. Like, you understand the process, you understand modeling, you understand sculpting, UV mapping, and texturing. That's great. The next thing you need to understand is lighting. You need to practice your lights to make sure that this looks even better, because right now, I think it looks a little bit flat. Again, if you saw yesterday's video when we talked about atmospheric perspective, these trees right here should look like they're farther away. If you're using Arnold to... no, it seems to me like you're using Unity. Okay, it doesn't matter what you're using. There's always some sort of like fog that you can add to add a little bit of that atmospheric perspective. Play around with like this sort of like sunset or sundown effect so that you get this with like very nice warm lights, long shadows. That's the kind of stuff that gives juice to the image. It makes it look very nice. I'm not saying that you wouldn't find this kind of illumination in certain areas. It's totally possible. However, you definitely want to add something like that. Now here the grass, this is just nitpicking, but the grass is very uniform, so you might want to add like a couple of stones or like a barrel or like a cart or something, like a fence, just to decorate and make sure that it's not just like a big plaster of green, because compositionally wise I just see like a big blob of green over here and there's nothing of interest there, so it feels very empty. Other thing you could do is just like close in with the camera a little bit more so that the main focus of the shot is the house itself. Now as for your portfolio, my best advice for... You should always, and this applies to any kind of portfolio, you should always have a little bit of variety based on the kind of things that you want to do. So if you want to do environment art, I would suggest to have a open environment like this, like outdoors, an indoor scene, If you have stylized, you should have one that's more realistic. If you have one medieval, you should try to have something that's more sci-fi. And if you have something that's very like, in this case, like industrial, like man-made, try having something a little bit more naturalistic, like mountains and or like a canyon or something. There's a lot of things that you can do with environments. They're one of the main things in games, right? So something like that is really good. Plants, trees, like doing your own tree learning. A speed tree, for instance, we released the speed tree course not so long ago. That is definitely a software that an environment artist should know, because it's just gonna give you more tools to create amazing looking pieces, especially if you want to go for games. You definitely need speed tree. So yeah, congratulations, Jyoti. That looks very nice. Let's go with Jeffrey. Hello, thank you for reviewing my portfolio. I'm currently struggling to land my first job in the game industry, so your opinion will be more than appreciated. You're welcome. So I self-taught for about a year now. I actually try applying for jobs in their environment or modeling direction, but with no luck. So please, I would love to know your thoughts about the direction I would work on. I model and textured everything except for the plants and the books. Those are from Quixel. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, first thing, an art station would definitely help. Let's take a look at yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is quite good, man. If you model everything, you said you model everything except for the plants and books. Damn. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this looks really nice. Even though you mentioned you're self-taught, this is amazing. See, one of the things that you might be facing is since all of this looks really clean, like the cloths and everything look really clean. It looks a lot like architectural visualization props. So some people might be skeptic about the fact that you model everything, and then they might think that you model or that you bought some assets and that you just like place and create a nice composition. But this is good job. But this is really cool stuff. I think we can improve the presentation. That would be my first suggestion. Improving the presentation on some pieces like this one right here. It really shows that you know how to do hard surface modeling, but it's really dark, right? So again, using the video that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we could get like a very simple 3-point light setup for this one, and that should give you a nice result. I would also encourage you to try and texture this one with the very similar like setup that you use for this one, like this sort of like metal edgeware and stuff. If you can make this thing look like a movie prop or like a game prop, this will be an amazing piece. Again, if you model everything like the shirts and the chairs, doing this sort of thing, it's not easy, man. Like it takes some time. It's a lot of props, and again, it's really impressive. Yeah, I think you definitely need an art station. Create one like post for each of them. So I would do one post for this one post for the room, one post for this one, and then you're gonna do more like individual posts of the most important assets. For instance, you're gonna do an individual post of this train little thingy. You're gonna do an individual post maybe of the house itself, like breakdowns, right? Like that could be something that could potentially help you, because yeah, I mean this is production ready. Like I would probably hire you if we had spots open, just because it shows that you know how to do stuff. So yeah. Unfortunately, the industry is one of those things that you do need to know people as well. It really helps when you know people, because that's kind of like the way you get your foot on the door. So if there are any sort of like conventions or meetings or meets and greets and stuff in your local area, like I'm not sure where you're from. Your name, Crispin Chen. I don't want to infer any sort of like nationality, but if there's any sort of like industry where you are, try to frequent those places and get people to know you, so they can see your work, and that's one way in which you can open some options for yourself. But yeah, I mean, again, open an art station, organize all of this stuff in very nice and easy to digest posts, and I think that could help you quite a bit. Another thing, I'm just thinking, another thing could be like, what is it that you want to be, right? Because you mentioned here on the element that you want to land your first job, but I'm not sure what your aim is, right? Because I do see some very nice renders, which could indicate that you want to be like a rendering guy. or is it modeling? If it's modeling, you definitely need wireframe shots to make sure that the wireframes are clean. Some UV shots might be good. Like this one, for instance, have information on how many triangles do you have. Is this subdivision? Are you using booleans? Like, the more information you can give a potential employer about the way you work, the easier it's going to be to find a spot where your skills can match the ones that the studio is looking for. But so far, I really don't see anything that pops out of my, or out of the blue. Again, be mindful about using. I'm not calling you a cheater or a liar or anything. I totally believe that you mentioned that you model everything. It's just that the quality of these guys are really, really clean. So I can understand someone saying this and being like, I don't think he did everything. Okay, I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying that that's what other people could think. Okay, so yeah, let's go with the next one, Troy. Hey, love your tutorials and the review series. Thank you. Thought I'd send you over my portfolio. I mainly do horror theme renders and character weapon modeling. I've only recently started using my ArtStation again, so I do play on the lean. I love the older stuff while trying to make things. Okay, perfect. So that means we're not gonna pay attention or too much attention to the early stuff. It's not bad to have early stuff, but you want to make sure that it's good. Ooh, this is nice. Nice. Yeah, I actually don't see anything that immediately tells me that something is like wrong or bad. Yeah, this is really good, man. I love some Bioshock stuff. Nice. 7 months ago. This is a nice series. See, this is a something that I recommend when people don't have ideas of what to do. Picking a series is always cool because you can see how it evolves throughout the elements, right? So all of these potions that you normally get on Bioshock, you're interpreting them in different ways, right? And you're giving it a different sort of feel and vibe to all of them. Yeah, I mean, the render is great, man. The prop is great, so they look really nice for cinematics, for cinematic purposes. Your compositions are really good. I'm not a fan of the horror genre, so I wouldn't be the best one to tell you whether or not you're hitting the right vibes. But a lot of these things look really, really cool. I think one important thing here would be to do some breakdowns of how you're achieving some of these guys, because they're really clean. They definitely look like production-ready elements, like CD covers. Like this one looks totally like a like a CD cover or something, or like a poster. So yeah, I mean, it tells me that you do know your stuff. You do know your 3D modeling, rendering, everything. You even have this very nice cinematic effect. I'm a little bit, well, not worried, right? But the question is, are you doing every single piece? Like, did you do the monster and the guns and everything? If you are doing it, then great. But show it. Like, show me here on the breakdown of the elements. Show me that you're doing everything and how you're doing it, because I don't see wireframes. I don't see I don't see breakdowns or anything. So it's a little bit difficult to evaluate whether or not you're following production elements. Which again, it definitely looks like you are. Like, you know what you're doing. But it's just one of those things that that people look for. Now, here's the other thing. It seems to me that you have the potential to just like remain being a freelance artist. Like, I myself I consider myself to be a freelance artist as well. And when you do that, and when you pursue that sort of like a route or career, then it really doesn't matter, like all of the things that I just said, because you're never really gonna be working on a production, right? Like, people are gonna come to you and they're gonna be like, hey Troy, I'm gonna do a movie and I want the poster, or I want I don't know, like a render of the characters, and that's all you're gonna do. Like, you're just gonna do compositions, like cool compositions for people to use. You're not really gonna be inside of a team doing like production stuff. So you have a really, really cool portfolio here. I don't think you need to like, if you want to look for a job in the industry, or like on a studio, like a permanent job, you definitely need breakdowns to make sure that people can see your process, because there's a lot of cheats, and you know that there's a lot of ways and a lot of cutting corners that you can do to create amazing stuff. So you need to show what your real expertise is without those cheats, right? Like if I can see this amazing looking render, Like, show me the actual model, show me the topology, show me your UVs, show me maybe a setup of your lighting or something. That kind of stuff, as an art director or as someone who's hiring artists, will tell me whether or not you will be a fit for the production line that we might need. But again, you have you have everything. You have a great portfolio to remain like a freelance artist. So the other thing, if you want to be a freelance artist and you want to keep being a freelance artist, the best advice that I have ever received is you need exposure. So make sure to constantly post on social media. Make sure you advertise in the way you can. Create your own Facebook group. Like, there's a lot of things. Everyone has different strategies to do so, but again, as I mentioned, your portfolio is really, really strong for that specific kind of like horror, really cool, futuristic kind of vibe. So congratulations. I really like your style, man. Really, really cool. I would love to have one of those posters over here. Looks very nice. Let's go now with Shively. Hi, my portfolio are set to ArtStation. My project, or short film, are submitted. This video has noise more because of the render time problem. The project render time, 96 hours. Yeah, unfortunately, rendering animation is definitely expensive. I think I've seen yours before as well, haven't we? Haven't we? See, is this the little? Okay, I'm gonna turn on the audio so that we can all hear it. Okay, I'm gonna pause real quick. I know that we're in the middle of the video, but there's a couple of things I need to mention. To me, the noise is not it's not what's bothering me. It's the rendering. I'm not sure what happened here with the render, but it looks like a PlayStation 2 kind of render. Like, there's no ray tracing, there's no nothing. Now, if you guys are rendering on like laptops and you need to keep working, I understand. Like, I completely understand. But it says right here that you're using Maya, and Maya has Arnold. This to me looks like the traditional like Maya software rendering thing, and it's not really good. It doesn't have like global illumination or ray tracing or anything, so that's why it looks a little bit flat. The story so far, it's interesting. I mean, it's here's the thing: we're not film. I mean, we can be filmmakers, of course, but people are not expecting us to be great storytellers right now. You could potentially become one, of course, but it's more about being a good 3D artist. And again, unfortunately, the quality that I'm seeing right now in this video, it's not there. It looks really, really, really old. Same for this one right here, like the Metro. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened on the rendering side of things, because even if you were using like super basic Arnold render lights, you wouldn't get the results. Like here's the one. Like, this is the one that I been mentioning, the 3-point light setup, and I literally have 3 lights. I have the sky dome light, which is an HDRI, 1 area light, and 2 area lights, and look at how the what's the word? Look at how the softness of the shadows and everything look. And the render time, I know I do have a strong computer, but the render time is just like 4 seconds at 2K, 6 seconds, 2K resolution. So this sort of like soft shadows, we're not seeing anything of that here. It looks like you tried doing some sort of like software rendering, or you tried to render directly on After Effects maybe. I'm not sure, but not ideal, okay? So I'm not gonna focus on that one, because again, then we have this, and this looks really good. So I don't know what happened on the rendering side of things. Like, this is great. This is the kind of rendering that I would expect to see on the video, because it looks to me that you have a good model, good materials, good shading. This is a nice element. But then when we take a look at the video itself of the little guy right here, it doesn't look like that. So it looks like it's the same. It looks like it's the same metro, right? But why is the difference so immense? I don't understand. Maybe if you want to share in the comments what your experience was. Now I can also see that it seems to be like a team project. So to be honest, to be completely honest, I would definitely take this one out. It's not ready for your portfolio, and you have a lot of other cool stuff like this one right here. This one's really good. Nice render, nice models, nice textures. Yeah, this one's fine. I love that one. This one's fine as well. A little bit less interesting, a little bit more like, you know, from one point, the light's not as interesting, but everything looks fine. Even this one right here looks interesting. Like, yeah, it looks fine. I think I do remember seeing this character. I do remember this one as well. Very nice. So you have some really nice environment modelings, and then you have this video, which I don't love, my friend. I don't love. And again, I don't want to like be too harsh on this. I don't want to blame you, because I know there's a lot of things that come into play when doing this sort of stuff. But if rendering time is a problem, there's a couple of suggestions I can give you. First of all, you can try a render farm. Of course, it's a little bit costly. Like you need to pay for the render farm, but that way you don't worry about it, and it's a lot faster. But try to get this sort of lighting information. Like, this is the kind of bounce lights and stuff that you want to have, because otherwise things are going to look way too flat. And finally, this character is fine. This is a fun character. Simple, clean. That's what we're going for, okay? Hopefully I wasn't too harsh. Again, it's not my intention to make anyone feel bad. I just need to be completely honest, right? Like, if someone comes into your portfolio, sees this really cool pieces, and then sees this, he's gonna be like, why did Shively decided that this was a good idea to add, right? So they're not gonna, it's not that they're gonna question the piece itself, which they will. They're gonna question you, like, why do you thought, what was your thought process on considering that this is on the same quality of level as every other piece in your portfolio? And that's usually what I recommend all of my students. Whenever you're asking yourself, should I add this piece to my portfolio? Ask yourself, is it to the same level of quality or better than the other pieces? If it's not, drop it. You don't need it, okay? Because it's only gonna hurt you. So yeah, that's it. That's my opinion, my friend. Hopefully, again, I wasn't too harsh. That's never my intention. It's all with the best of intentions. Now we're gonna go with Arya Deep Roy Karmakar. Arya Deep Roy Karmakar, sorry. Hello, hope you're doing well. I am Arya Deep Roy Karmakar, a modeling and texturing student from India. Now I'm preparing my portfolio. I'd like to be a 3D texturing and look dev artist. I hope you can give me advice, of course. Let's take a look. Okay. Modeling wise, it's fine. It's these are fine models. This is a nice model. Topology could be a little bit better here. It's not as evenly distributed as I would expect. This is probably not the best way to present your UVs, because they look like they're overlapping instead of like, I know what you did there. You just like created a big image, like offsetting each one, but it looks a little bit dirty. So just a collage is fine. Turntables are fine. Yeah, turntable. Yeah, there's a good clean presentation. Wow, abandoned autism table. That's That's a really creepy thing, but okay. Textures could be a little bit higher. I'm not sure how many texture maps are you using. It seems to me that it might be just one. Here's where UDIMs really come into play, because for assets like this that are really big and that have a lot of surface, you definitely need more texture. So even if you need 3 or 4 or 4K texture UDIMs, especially if you're going for cinema, which that would be the ideal thing, you definitely need that. This gold looks a little bit too fake. I would definitely fix the gold effect. It's a little on the heavy side, on the dense side. It's fine. Again, for film, it's fine, but it's a little bit on the dense side. Again, rendering. We need to improve the rendering. This is great. Having like different variations. This is amazing. This is look dev, right? Like, this is what you want to go for. Like, show them that you know how to create variations on like the same or different textures. Maybe even have like a couple of this that are like super new, and then these ones, and then ones that are super damaged and scratched, and that way you have like 4 variations of textures and 3 variations of states. That kind of stuff. It's really cool. This coin, it's just, I think it's a very simple prop, and it's something that, again, it's not really like a rule, but it's kind of like one of those things that you need to think about. If you can do something in like 3 or 4 hours and throw it in your portfolio, it's probably not portfolio worthy, right? That's probably cool for Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever you share your stuff, but it's probably not good for your portfolio. And I know that you can do this like really really fast, so don't worry about that one as much. This one's really really cool. This one, the one thing that I would suggest for this one is, again, once you have the model and this looks really good, give me a couple of variations on the textures. Like maybe one's like gold plated, maybe one's like very sci-fi-ish with the emissive stuff and different elements. Like if you want to pursue this sort of like look dev effect, you definitely want that. There was another Beat Reichenbach. Let me see. This guy was a beast when he was at school. He had a lot of experience. Beat Reichenbach. There we go. He was a he's an amazing artist. One of the best ones I know. And he was a student when I was a student. So he was a really, like, he's ahead of a lot of us. But he did this monster. I remember when I saw his monster, I was like, damn, dude, this is amazing. And he did this. This is look dev, right? So this is creating variations on the object that you're presenting before deciding on which one is the one that you want to do. So this is the kind of thing that you want to go for. He's an amazing guy, Beat. He is from Norway, I think, or Sweden. And he's been working on cinematics and the industry for a couple of years now. He's really talented. So yeah, this is what I would suggest. Like, if you have a really cool weapon, give me 4, 5, 6 variations of textures for this weapon, and that's going to show me that you know how to do exploration for look development. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We're finished. We just finished everyone's submissions. So thank you very much for the submissions, guys. Hopefully all of the advices, tips, tricks, and little like information bits that I gave throughout this reviews were helpful to you. Remember that this is not a competition. Like, you're not like, you shouldn't feel bad if your portfolio is not to the level of other people here, or if there were a couple of things that I said. Just worry about improving your own art, and that's going to be opening doors for yourself in the future. Okay, I know that having this sort of like reality checks can be a little bit disheartening. I had them. I constantly have them. Sometimes we deliver a project to the client, and the client's like, this is it, this is all, I thought it was going to look cooler, and you're like, dude, I did my best. Well, sometimes that happens, so don't worry. Just breathe, think about what the next step is going to be, what your next goal is going to be, and focus on pursuing that specific goal. I'll see you guys this next week. I'm still not sure if I'm going to be able to upload a video tomorrow, Monday, but I'll be here in the channel very soon. We're going to talk about photogrammetry. We're going to see a little bit of the sci-fi helmet that we've been working on, and of course the lighthouse, which is now back on track. So yeah, hang on tight, and I'll see you back on the next couple of days. Bye bye.